For this practice, it is recommended, I will recommend, that you have two blocks. Of course, if you don't have two blocks, it's not the end of the world. I did this practice the other day without any. Um, Blocks can just be really helpful in creating space or feeling more spaciousness, but there's always ways to get around the practice without them. So if you do have a couple blocks, we won't use them for a bit. So you can take both of them and let's actually place them towards the back of the mat for now. So you could place them on either side of the mat and then just go ahead and leave it there. If you are practicing with some music today, you could go ahead and turn that on. And our opening posture is going to be a child's pose. So I'll give you a minute to situate your practice space and come and meet me here. Now, your child's pose, we're going to have the knees be maybe just a pinch wider than hips width distance, but not super wide. Just enough space so that there can be room for the belly, just a little bit um, in between. And you can just bring your forearms to the ground. So this will begin soft and easy. And with your elbows back so the entire forearm can rest. You're not in a stretch, you're in this opening shape. And you let your forehead come to the mat. Again, if you'll get here in your own time. And we're just going to come onto the breath, bring our awareness to our breath and our space today. So I'm just noticing your breath as you do eventually find yourself here in your child's pose. And noticing how it's flowing today and how you are feeling and any other details of the moment, maybe the texture of the air around you, light, sound, energy, space, just all of this awareness to help guide us more completely into this moment. And welcoming ourselves into practice today. And on your next breath in, please lift your head up so that you could look in between your thumbs. And you'll extend your arms straight out and begin to slide the palms forward and lift the hips up until you come into Anahatasana or a puppy dog pose. So we'll start by opening the heart towards the earth. And there is a little action in the arms so that you can stay long and you'll feel this beautiful opening through the backs of your ribs. And you may rest your chin on the ground. You could also rest your forehead on the ground. You want your hips almost above your knees, but a little bit back so that you don't overly dive forward into the chest, right? There needs to be some balance there to keep you steady. We'll be here for about a minute, so just feel into something sustainable and then pay attention once again to your breathing. Finding one more breath in here. And then on your exhale, just gently allowing your hips to return to your heels and come into a child's pose. And when you do, draw your chin in towards your chest and bring the forehead where it meets the hairline to the ground. Breathe into the back of the heart. And then walk your left arm all the way out to the side, and then walk your right arm to the left. And move over through the torso until your ribs come on top of the left thigh, and you can breathe space through your right lung. And actively wash the breath through the right side of the body. And then right from here, slide the right arm so that it's underneath your chest and lay yourself down onto the back of the right shoulder, but staying pretty much in a child's pose. Now you're working the rotation of the right waist underneath you. You could press a little bit through the back of the right palm. And then please take your left arm up to the sky, and you could just find any amount of twist through the shoulders and breathe in. And then as you exhale, just place your left hand on your low back or your sacrum so that you continue the twist through the shoulders, and just take a few breaths like this. Nice and smooth. One more. All right, beautiful. Let's lift the left arm up over the head again, breathing in, and then extend it forward onto the mat in front of you. And from here, you can slide your right arm out and just return to a child's pose. Let it be soft, forearms to the ground, forehead to the ground, and breathe. And taking the right arm to the side this time, and then taking the left arm to the right, picking your chest up so that you can turn it on top of the right thigh. Just for a moment, breathing actively into the left lung. You could just kind of casually rest your head on the left arm as well. And working from that space, slide the left arm underneath your chest. You could turn the palm up and lay the back of the left shoulder down. And then you might also bring your head to the ground. So you're working that twist, right? You should feel that in the waist. Let's lift the right arm up to the sky and breathe in. And then right from here, you can place your right hand on your low back, your sacrum, and just continue just gently opening through the right shoulder. It doesn't have to be too much. Few breaths here. And let's lift the right arm up again on the breath in, and then we'll stretch it forward, bring it onto the mat in front of you. Slide your left arm out as well and return to your child's pose. And from your child's pose, we're going to come right up to all fours on the breath in, and then shift your hips and your shoulders forward and sink your hips towards the ground as you breathe out. Soften your elbows so that you're in a lazy up dog and inhale. And as you exhale, return to your child's pose. You can gently round your spine as you press back. Let's do two more like this. So come up to all fours as you breathe in, shifting your shoulders and your hips forward. As you exhale, sink your hips towards the ground. Bend your elbows a little bit. Move your heart forward and inhale. And returning to your child's pose, you can round your low back, pressing back. And then last time, coming forward like this, right up to all fours, shift your shoulders and hips forward. And as you breathe out, soften your hips and your thighs, soften your elbows, open your heart and breathe in. This time you're going to move towards a child's pose, but also tuck your toes under and press back into a downward facing dog. Now just have a moment to feel the back body, to allow the legs to have some space. Take a few gentle but generous breaths here. Soften the back of your neck.
And let's come out to a plank pose, big breath in. You will lower your knees to the ground as you breathe out. Just sink your hips down, arch your chest as you inhale, and then pick up your knees as you exhale. Your toes are tucked. Press into the earth, lift your chest more, breathe in, and then drop your knees down, press back through a child's pose into a downward facing dog. A couple more like this. Come forward and out, plank pose, inhale. Lower your knees down as you exhale. Sink your hips, pull your heart forward as you breathe in, and pick up your knees as you breathe out. Press the earth away, get taller through the chest, inhaling. Drop your knees now down, seat to your heels, press back into a downward facing dog, breathing out. One more like this, come forward, plank pose as you inhale. Drop your knees down as you exhale. Sink your hips, pull your heart forward as you breathe in. Pick up your knees as you breathe out. Press the earth away on the inhale, and then drop your knees down. Press back into a downward facing dog as you exhale. And also this time, walk your hands back so that you're in a standing forward fold at the back of the mat. Grab for opposite elbows when you get there. Allow the forearms to heavy towards the ground. Drop your head, soften your knees, take a big breath in. Flutter the lips. Switch the crossing of your elbows, so just take the opposite on top. Again, drop your head, take a big breath in. And flutter the lips. Now, right from where you are, you'll place your left hand on the ground, and you could tent your fingertips or have the palm flat, depending on your flexibility. Please extend your right arm up to the sky and bend your left knee as you breathe in. The right leg is straight. And as you exhale, extend your right arm over your ear and then right down to the ground. Place it where your left hand is. Bend your right knee as you reach your left arm up to the sky with a straight left leg, inhaling. And as you exhale, send it over your ear and bring it right back down to the ground. So one more time like this. Left hand to the ground, right arm reaches up, left knee bends, breathing in. Send it forward over your ear, down as you breathe out. Bend the right knee, lift the left arm up. You could look up also, inhale. And then send the left arm forward, bring it right down to the ground as you exhale. Now from here, wing your arms back and grab for opposite forearms behind your knees. Okay, bend your knees almost like you're clamping your forearms down. Breathe in and pull your shoulders forward or your collarbones forward. And then as you exhale, straighten your legs and see if you can keep your chest towards your thighs and stay close. So two more like this. You're going to bend the knees, pull the collarbones forward, breathing in. And as you exhale, lift your hips, keep your chest towards your thighs, breathing out. And one more time, so deep bend, maybe opening the heart a little, inhaling, looking forward, and then lifting your hips up as you exhale and hugging your way towards your thighs. So staying right here, wing the arms back and interlace your hands behind you. Take the right thumb on top and send the fists forward. The knees can be a little bit soft. Take a big breath in. And a hum, sigh, or flutter. Right. And let's go ahead, switch the crossing of the thumbs. So take the left thumb on top now. Interlace the hands. Breathing in. And exhaling anything out. All right. From here, we're going to sit into a chair pose. So sweep your arms forward. And then please grab for opposite elbows. Come all the way up to stand as you breathe in. And as you do that, arch your spine. And then as you exhale, allow your arms to come to your sides and just find Tadasana for a moment. Allow the spine to get long. Tune into yourself here. Find the breath. Okay, let's reach for opposite elbows again and lift them up overhead and breathe in. And then on the exhale, just go ahead and release them and swan dive forward. So from here, you're going to pick up your blocks, if you have them, and bring them onto their highest setting. If you don't have them, you'll just tend to your fingertips. Bring your blocks or your fingertips to the middle of the mat so that you feel like you're almost in a super short down dog. Keep your fingertips or your palms pulling forward and just draw your hips back any amount. Soften your head, one full breath in and out here. And keeping your left foot where it is, please step your right foot in between the blocks or your fingers so that you're in a Parsvottanasana. And then allow your chest to get long on the breath in. Pull your right hip back and then soften your elbows any amount and allow your chest to move down over your thighs. So you could have your blocks on the high setting, you could have them on the medium setting. Again, if you have your fingertips tented on the ground, that's about a medium height, so that's perfect. Go ahead and lift your chest upright, look forward, breathing in, and then take your blocks or your fingertips to the top of the mat as you breathe out. And then using the support here, come into a supported warrior 3, lifting the left leg up on the inhale. And then as you exhale, please open the hip and bend the knee, almost like you were in a downward facing dog. And you could also walk your left fingertips a little bit more to the left or the block a little bit more forward, and then drop your head down. Breathe through the left waist in and out. And then you can lengthen through your left leg as you inhale. Square your hip, draw your left knee to your nose, and step it forward to the top of your mat. You're going to tend to your fingertips and walk them out, or use the blocks and walk them out. Come into supported warrior 3, standing on your left leg, breathing in. And as you exhale, roll your hip open, bend the knee. You can soften your left elbow here, and then maybe walk your right arm a little forward and to the right. Drop your head down, take a full breath in and out. And then lengthen through your right leg as you inhale. Square your hip down, slide the blocks back so that they're directly underneath you. Take another breath in your warrior 3 here. And then as you exhale, please tuck your right knee behind your left ankle and have a seat in Ardha Matsyendrasana. Okay, you're going to bring your left arm back behind you, hook your right elbow outside the thigh, sit up nice and tall and breathe in, and twist on the breath out. Stay for another one in. Press the elbow into the thigh, rotate more as you exhale. Beautiful. Gently undo the twist, but keep your chest towards the left. You're going to pick up your left leg and send it towards the back of your mat. It's okay if you're off of it. I'm a little off of it. Bring your right foot to the inside of the left thigh. Bring your left hand or your left forearm to the ground on the outside of the left leg. Reach your right arm up and over your ear. Now keep the chest open so that you're really working space through the right waist, and you could even press your right knee down. Breathe into the right lung for 2. Reach a little further on your exhale, and one more here. Awesome. Lift your torso up. Bring your right hand to the ground behind you and press into the right palm. Lift your hips, lift your left arm, breathing in. And as you exhale, circle the left arm back and down. We'll do this 2 more times. So left arm goes forward, around, and up. Inhale. Back and down on the exhale. Again, forward and around, breathing in. Back and down, breathing out. So go ahead, drop your seat to the ground. Bring your palms forward on the mat. Slide your left foot back so that you can tuck the toes under. And then come to a downward facing dog split. Reach your right leg up to the sky as you inhale. And open through your hip, bend through the knee as you exhale. Take one full breath in. And out. And let's re-lengthen through the right leg, square the hip on the inhale, and bring your right shin forward for a pigeon pose as you exhale. You could tuck your back toes under, inch them back, drop your left thigh to the ground, and then bring yourself forward. Your blocks are here, so if you need any kind of support, or even if you just like it underneath the chest or underneath the hips, you could bring it there, or the head. We'll spend a minute here, let your head drop, find your breath, find some sweetness. And let's take one more breath in and out. Okay. Now, lifting your chest upright, coming away from the ground. If you've got those blocks, go ahead, bring them to either side of you, like reaching back to the middle of the mat so that they are there for you. And then you can bring your palms forward, tuck your toes under on the breath in. Please step right back to a downward facing dog on the breath out. You're going to roll yourself forward to a plank pose on the inhale. And drop your knees down. Sit back into a child's pose on this one for the exhale. And bring your hands around to hold onto your heels as you breathe in, and then draw yourself right up to sit on them on the breath out. You're going to tent your fingertips back behind you here. Lift up through your heart, lift up through your hips. Find this baby camel. Take a big breath in. You could stay here, drop the head and exhale. Find another breath here in. And then as you exhale, please bring your seat to the ground. And you're either going to tent your fingertips in front of your knees, or you could use your blocks if they're there. Lift your hips, tuck your toes, and press yourself into that standing forward fold at the back of the mat. And when you get there, grab for opposite elbows, let your head drop, find some sweetness, take a full breath in. Flutter the lips. Full breath in. Sigh out the mouth. Let's bring the right hand to the ground, right underneath your heart space. Bend your right knee, twist your left arm up and inhale. Send it over your ear to the ground as you exhale. Switching, right arm lifts, left knee bends, breathing in. Reach it over the ear to the ground, breathing out. Right knee bends, left arm lifts, breathe in. Send it forward and down, breathing out. Right arm lifts, left knee bends, inhale. Send it forward and down on the exhale. Straighten your legs, wing the arms back, catch your forearms or maybe even your elbows behind your knees. Bend your knees, roll your shoulders back, shine your heart forward and inhale. Straighten your legs just once here. Hug your thighs towards your chest towards your thighs. Wing the arms back behind you. Interlace the hands. Let's take the left thumb on top. Send the fists forward. Breathe in and out. Switch the crossing right thumb on top. Big inhale. And exhale. Sweeping the arms forward. Come into a chair pose. And then grab opposite elbows, come all the way up to stand, arch a little bit, breathing in. And we're going to head right back down over the legs this time as you breathe out. So wing the arms and fold. Reach for your blocks or your tented fingers. Bring them to the middle of the mat. Draw your hips back. Get a lot of space through the back body. Full breath in. And out. And look forward in between your hands or your blocks and step your left foot right in between so you're in a pyramid pose. Draw your chest forward, draw your left hip back and breathe in. And as you exhale, soften the elbows, drape your chest towards your thigh, your chin towards your chest, and breathe. And bringing the gaze forward, straightening the elbows, fingertips or blocks to the top of the mat. Come into a supported warrior three, flexing through your right foot, getting nice long lines here, breathing in. And then on the exhale, roll the right hip open, bend through the knee as you breathe out, and you can walk your right block a little forward, soften your left elbow, maybe drop the head. And then please lengthen through your right leg, press through your right hand, breathe in. As you exhale, square your hip down, draw your right knee into your nose, and step your right foot to the top of the mat. Walk your blocks or your fingertips forward. Come into a supported warrior three on the right leg, strong back leg, breathe in. As you exhale, open your hip and bend through the knee. Again, you can walk the left block forward, maybe drop your head. Straighten through the left leg as you inhale. Square the hip down, lift your chest, and then drop the left knee behind the right ankle and have a seat. Right arm will come behind you, left elbow will hook, and you'll rotate, twist yourself back, breathe for 2, and 1. So unhooking the arms, but keeping your chest in this direction. You can just kind of slide on your butt and extend your right leg out. You'll adjust by pulling your left foot into the inner thigh. Right hand to the ground or right forearm, depending on space, and you'll lift your left arm up over your ear, side bending so that the waist, the ribs can get all of the space, reaching through your fingers. Breathe into the side body, and then maybe stretch more on your exhale, and take one more. Nice. And coming up out of this one, you can bring your left hand behind you, press into your palms and your knee, lift your hips up, send your right arm over your ear as you inhale. You're going to sweep it back around behind you to roll through the shoulder on the exhale, and then 2 more. Circle around and up with the right arm, breathing in, down and back, breathing out. 1 more big circle, inhaling, down and back on the exhale. And then have a seat. Bring your palms forward, walk your right toes back onto the mat and spin the heel up. Downward facing dog split. Left leg lifts on the inhale, and you can open through your hip and bend through the knee as you exhale. Re-lengthening through the left leg, squaring the hip on the breath in. Bring the shin forward for a pigeon pose as you breathe out. And then again, giving yourself a moment to settle in so you can walk your toes back, bring your thigh towards the earth. And if you have blocks and you like to use them for some support, maybe bring it underneath your chest, your forehead, your hips. And we'll spend about a minute here. You can let your breath really start to settle and dropping out of the effort. And finding another breath here in and out. And when you're ready, just walk your hands back, lift your chest. And you can remove any props from out underneath you and just bring them to the side as you won't need them moving forward. And please bring all of your weight over into your left hip. Sweep your right leg forward and then bring the bottoms of your feet together for a Tara Asana. And you can just hold on to the ankles for a moment, take a breath in, open through the front
body. And then on the exhale, bend the elbows out to the side, draw your chest forward and down. And if you feel like being active here, totally keep with that. If it's going to be better for you to just kind of melt, you could bring your palms forward, face down or up, and drop your head. 3 big breaths. Beautiful. Now, on your last one here, your next breath, rather, come up, bring your chest upright. You can bring your knees together, hold onto your thighs, round down onto your back, and pull your knees into your chest. And let's just get a little rock from side to side. Feel the back body on the ground. Find your breathing. And then we'll come up for one back bend before we find our resting place or Shavasana today. Now, you're more than welcome to find a full wheel if you feel like you're warm enough. It's actually quite warm in the room that I'm practicing in, so my body feels open like I could. But depending on the temperature of your body, the time of day, you might want to come into a half wheel, which is what I'm going to take either way. So totally up to you. That's your judgment, your body. One back bend, pressing the elbows down, lifting the hips up. And then if you're staying in the half wheel, interlace your hands behind your back. If you're going to a full wheel, be my guest. We're going to breathe for 3. After your last breath, you can slowly lower yourself down. If you're in that half wheel, you could bring your arms over your head, roll your vertebra onto the ground. And when your back is down from either shape, take your heels wide, your knees into a constructive rest. And just allow the belly to breathe and the spine to neutralize itself for a moment. And then just turn the toes forward, gently rock the knees a little bit, side to side, so to the left, to the right, maybe once or twice. And then we will make our way into our final resting place, into Shavasana. Just for a couple minutes to let the body reset. So arms forward, palms up, legs forward, shoulders up and down the back. Big breath in. Long exhale, let it out. Allow yourself to just be here a couple minutes.
Noticing your body at rest here, noticing any shifts, awarenesses, or states of being as a result of your practice. And of course, you are more than welcome to continue to rest here for as long as you like. And if you are closing your practice with me today, please gently invite in a little more breath. Allow your palms to fold onto your belly and your chest, and softly step your feet onto the ground. Make your way over to a side. Let yourself feel the earth there and find a breath. And then please press yourself up to a tall seat. And you could let your hands rest any way you like. So on your thighs or at your heart or at your belly or both. Just tuning into your breath. And maybe allowing an intention or a word to be born from the space that you'd like to carry with you into the rest of your day. Bringing your palms together in front of your heart, taking a breath in and out. And gently bowing forward in gratitude for every being who has passed practice on to bring it to us with such immense ease. And may the benefit of our awareness and open body carry us in goodness beyond this space. Thank you so much for joining me in practice today. Very deep bow to you. Enjoy the rest of it.